Say hello, Brady. How are you guys doing? I'm Calvin Chang, your co-maker Dynasty broker. And Brady and I wanted to give you our April 6th update of the coronavirus and the situation going on right now. Oh, what do you want to say, Brady? Well, I have a lot of news to share. It's been a week since my last update. I hope you guys took advantage of the government relief that's going to be going out to realtors. And if you haven't, there's still other resources. I'm going to talk to you about that in this video, share with you about the differences in the CARES Act for the PPP, the EIDL, and the Pandemic Unemployment Insurance, and give you some clarifications from what I know as of today, April 6th. So I wanted to share with you a couple of other updates as well in regards to what's going on in the market, and some training and classes as well, opportunities and what we should be doing. And so Brady and I, we've been spending a lot of time at home. It's been a good time to really just do these stay safer at home, stay at home measures, and spend some good family time together. I'm going to tell you that it's a really critical time right now. The next 2 weeks is important for us to really do our best to contain the virus, do not expose ourselves unnecessarily, and try our best to stay at home while our frontline people and other essential businesses are working. Give you the update. We have been updated and classified in terms of real estate as an industry by the Fed, by the state, as an essential business. And LA County also revised their order as well, stating that things that are critical and to the housing is considered essential, but I'd say it really is if you're in a transaction, okay? And if you have listings and you have other showings that you need to do, I'm going to give you some clarifications as well. So in regards to what's essential or not, I mean, they are allowing us to do and conduct showings and do our normal operation inspections and everything like that. However, it's going to require us to follow some guidelines, 6 feet social distancing, and giving you a disclosure for your clients, because it's going to have to get their sign off and release that they've been advised that they're doing this at their own risk, just like you are doing this at your own risk when you're practicing and showing property. So I'm going to share the clarifications with you near the end of the video. Stick around for that, because there's 4 new CAR forms that are related to the coronavirus. I want to give you the explanation to everything. Now let's talk about the CARES Act. This is a very important time, and I wanted to share with that because I know a lot of you guys have been asking me a lot of questions, and I want to give you some guidance to you independent contractors, the differences between the CARES Act and what we should be applying for or not. And I'm going to tell you, you are definitely welcome to apply. I cannot guarantee you're going to qualify. I am not your CPA, and I do not know your situation, and every realtor is very, very unique in their own situations, whether they're a landlord, they're practicing real estate full-time or not. And there's a lot of clarifications as well in regards to the independent contractor realtors, because C.A.R. still has not given proper guidance on unemployment. So I'm going to tell you first and talk about that unemployment portion, as right now the EDD from the state of California does allow people who are working gigs, independent contractors like realtors, to apply, but definitely they do not necessarily may not give you the full amount of unemployment insurance, and you have to kind of prove that you're not working, that you've been impacted by COVID-19 and your family or someone close to you, you've been hospitalized, or you got to take care of a family member at home. So they estimate that it's going to be for realtors roughly $766 to $1,050 per week if you qualify, somewhere in that range. The applications from C.A.R. says do not apply now. When you go to the C.A.R. COVID Resource Center, you can check there, and it says that do not apply now. We advise you to wait until further guidance. Maybe, I think, April 10th. They will provide some guidance by then for independent contract realtors to apply and see what kind of relief we could get or qualify for. That's all I can share with you regarding the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program that the government has given to us. But again, I really don't know because the funds are limited. The SBA has provided Small Business Administration loans to us independent contractors who are in business, and you do not necessarily need to have employees under you. but there are some qualification differences that I'm going to give you my best knowledge of it, but I need you to go ahead and read up on it on your own situation. The first one is called the EIDL. That is the Emergency Injury Disaster Loan, which can provide up to $10,000 towards your small business. I'm going to speak to most of you guys as a sole proprietor. If you're running your own business, you're a real estate agent, you are a sole proprietor running your own business, and that is going to be your trade name. If you're filling out the application, it's going to probably be your own name. Unless you are your own entity and you have an S Corp or something like that, then you already know what your business name is. If you're going to apply for this, you have to self-certify that you are affected and impacted in needing these emergency impact disaster loan funds, and where it's going to go towards. You do not need to have employees, but I'm going to tell you that it's going to be based upon maybe your 1099 gross revenue, and that's going to be what you're going to report as your gross commissions, your 1099 miscellaneous that we issue to you, and or any other 1099s that you receive. If you're going to go ahead and apply for this, they give you 3.75% interest rate for a $10,000 loan, and it could help you go keep yourself afloat during this critical COVID coronavirus period where we're all ordered to stay at home. So if you are going to apply for the other program, you can also apply for both at your own discretion, but I do not guarantee you're going to qualify. The other one is called the Paycheck Protection Program, and the PPP, which is for small businesses, probably more who have employees on salary. And for those of you who have that type of situation and you're running yourself in salary and everything like that, hey, great. But I can tell you the banks are overwhelmed. All of the major banks are kind of, the websites have been crashed. Wells Fargo's, who we bank with, didn't even go live on Friday, which was the first day. And on Saturday, I was able to apply for a loan, but I don't know if I'm going to get it myself as a company. They say that 1099 agents can apply on their own as well for the PPP. So C.A.R. has revised, and the Small Business Administration advised that independent contractors can apply even though you don't have any employees. It's forgiveness for rent. It's for your W-2 salary employees, your mortgage insurance, and or any other type of expenses that might qualify under the fine print. Which would be great because that money that you get from there is forgiven. That's free money. For Trump and the Congress, and they wanted to provide a ton of funds to Americans and send them to everybody, and they're either doing that through the unemployment or through some of this SBA CARES Act loans. And so I encourage you to at least apply to see if you qualify. But I can't advise you how to fill out your application. That's going to have to be on your own. And there's a ton of YouTube videos explaining it. Check my last video I sent you last week on April 2nd. That email has a great accountant who gives you great advice on how to apply. I hope you watched that video and you took advantage of it last week when I gave it to you. In regards to the new forms, I want to jump to the next section. C.A.R. has put out 4 new forms related to coronavirus, and I explained to you the first one, and that one is obviously called the Coronavirus Amendment or Addendum, CVA. This form is really just to help provide you, if you're in a transaction or writing offers, if you're representing a buyer, add this form in because it gives you 2 elements of extensions. One for your contingency periods when you check those boxes, like appraisals, loan, and inspections, because you're having tough difficulty getting an inspector out there, or the city or inspector. So you can get an extension for 30 days or whatever you put on there. The second thing you can do is have an extension for the closing of escrow if it's related to the coronavirus unforeseen circumstances. So there's another form called the Unforeseen Coronavirus Circumstances, and that's going to allow you to explain why you need additional time to delay the close of escrow. It's a great form to use. I'm going to talk to you about that one right now. And the Unforeseen Circumstances is Form NUCC, Notice of Unforeseen Coronavirus Circumstances. If you go to your C.A.R. forms, all 4 of these are in there, and you can say that you have a reason to delay the close of escrow. or cancel the transaction. So if you check 1A, it's related to the loan. You got your loss of income, you got unemployed, or your employer is kind of putting you on hold or whatnot. Then therefore you cannot qualify for the loan. You can cancel the transaction, no penalty. The second reason you can cancel is you're having trouble in scheduling a home inspector or movers or termite people, appraisers. If you're having trouble in sending up scheduling, you can delay the extension close of escrow as well for that reason. The third reason is for personal impact. Maybe someone in my family got coronavirus, or people that I know. I've had a diagnosis myself, I've been hospitalized, or I have to subject myself to a government voluntary quarantine. These are all reasons why I can either cancel or delay the close of escrow. You can also write other reasons. You can also provide evidence. That's the instruction for how you're supposed to use this form. Maybe potentially get yourself out of a transaction and cancel under these reasons because your stated income borrower didn't qualify for the loan and they lost their job. Okay, so that's the instruction for there. The third form I'm going to talk to you about is called the Listing Agreement, Coronavirus Addendum or Amendment, Form RLA CAA. Now this form is for you as a realtor to use if you're going to get a listing. You still can. You can still work it. We're an essential business. We can go ahead and promote our properties for our clients who need to sell. So this form allows and authorizes you as an agent and basically defines what activities you're going to do or not do. So if you're going to go ahead and do some permissible activities, it'll check the boxes. I can do my photography, I can install a sign, I can prepare my AVID and conduct inspections, I can contact the HOA or do any other city inspections or permits as necessary. So if you want to use this form, it tells you what you are going to be able to be authorized to do. It also tells you what you're going to be prohibited or not you're going to be doing. Under your broker marketing plan, you can modify what your marketing activities or exclusions will be. For example, just putting up a lockbox, or we're going to have to maybe do no showings by appointment. So you can write an addendum or an amendment how you plan to not market or not market the property. You can also use this form if you have an existing listing. You can just go ahead and with your listing, maybe your client says, I want to cancel because of this timing. Well, why don't you instead withdraw the property from the market? This form allows you to extend your listing period for X amount of time, or hold it off the market until things get better. And this is a nice way to keep your listing and just kind of postpone or temporarily withdraw it from the market, because maybe someone's living in the property and your seller does not want showings because they don't want to have exposure to buyers or showing clients that they do not know who are coming in. Now it kind of gives me a nice segue to the next fourth form. The fourth form is very important and critical that you understand, because I have seen new showings requests, and maybe there's people living there or not. And if you're going to go ahead and show property, hey, we want to give you some sort of advisory to the clients, even to the realtors yourself. I need to share, and I want to ask and highly recommend and almost make this mandatory, almost, because I can't make this technically mandatory, that you are at risk of exposure when you go do business in the field, showing properties, meeting with clients. So if you're at risk at your own discretion, I'd like this PEAD form to be acknowledged and signed by your clients and yourself, which is the Coronavirus Property Entry Advisory and Declaration. Not only this tells you that you're at risk, it says that we may be acting against stay-at-home orders from the county. It also says that it does clarify that we are an essential business in real estate, but it says that the person, like for example, the agent, like yourself, the buyer or the seller, they are at risk, and they have been advised to do precautions, wear masks, wash their hands, don't touch surfaces, we know with the drill. I'm not going to go over that. But it also says that you're going to discard your shoe coverings and your face mask within 20 seconds. It also says that you're going to keep 6 feet social distancing, and that it also says a self-certification that you are not exposed to the coronavirus, you know your family members for the past 14 days, you are considered to the best of your knowledge, not afflicted with COVID-19, and you are not going to be afflicting others. So this is kind of like that disclaimer, disclosure, and for us, the liability is protected that when we get your clients to sign this. And as a listing agent, you may want to go ahead and ask for the buyer and the agent to provide you an updated PEAD form to prove to your clients that they're risk-free, they are not afflicted with the coronavirus, and they're certifying that they're not. It may be a step you want to ask for in your showing instructions if you want to take more precautious measures while you're doing business. So that's the update for the 4 CAR forms. That moves me on to the market. The real estate market here in Southern California has relatively slowed down significantly, where there's a lack of inventory. I've seen the shortage of inventory. There's a lot of stale listings. A lot of the good listings have already gone, and there's not many showings being honored or really interacted on right as well. I've had some tenants still trying to make requests to do applications, but I can tell you it has been slow for everybody. I checked with other brokers as well. Stocks did hit a slight rebound today as of Monday, March 6th. So that's some good news for the marketplace. However, I've been reading that unemployment is on the rise. They estimated currently today that it's at a 13% estimated unemployment rate in the America. And they believe that it's going to surpass the Great Depression back in the 1920s. Unemployment rates exceeding 25% or greater. Possibly some economists say 35% even as well. So this is going to be a record high unemployment rate, and it may impact real estate values in the future. I'm not a Nostradamus, or I can't predict the future, but typically I'm going to tell you, in order to qualify for a recession, you need to have 2 slow quarters in a row. And so it might take 3 to 6 months before we start realizing the extent of how much real estate is going to suffer in terms of values. So I anticipate values might come down a little bit. Cash is going to be king. It's going to be tough to get loans. And if you are a stated loan, or if you lost your job, or if you have a foreign loan, these are very tough to close right now. I'm dealing with another agent who's having some difficulties with their loan because the subprime loans have kind of shut down for this time being. W-2 employees or still employed people that are normal, traditional 20% down conventional loans, these are still A-OK paper type of clients that will be fine for now. The other updates I want to share with you is forbearance, loan modifications. Maybe you have been impacted, or your clients are having trouble paying their loan on their mortgage, and I can't give you really guidance on their situation, but I'm going to tell you there's some differences and some things to watch out for in regards to asking for a loan modification, or possibly the word going around is forbearance. And if you want to apply for forbearance, all the lenders are going to allow it and give them some sort of a payment plan or postponement of the payment, but that does not mean that the loan or mortgage is forgiven. All it does is just tax it on as a lump sum in, for example, 4 months, or they might give them hopefully, with the best case is to add 4 months to the end of their period of their loan. So basically just 4 more loan payments, or they may go ahead and give them a modification of their loan terms. But if they're gonna have to pay all 4 months at once at the end, it's gonna be very difficult for a lot of clients. So I'm gonna tell you, it may open them up to some potential non-willingness to foreclose once the courts get open again and they're not able to get to an acceptable plan. It's case by case, and hopefully you record your conversation with the mortgage representative over the phone if you're applying for a loan mod or forbearance, and ask these questions. How will it be resolved once the 4-month period expires? So hopefully you can get some clarification and you're accepting of those terms. So other than that, I'd suggest applying for the other relief that California and the Fed is giving to us, and take advantage of those low interest rates and or potentially forgiven money that they're going to be giving to us. I want to advise you that we have a couple of classes that will hopefully I'll continue weekly to give you some real estate guidance and classes. So this week, I'm going to advise you that to sign up for Coldwell Banker University. Some of you realtors asked, how do you still make yourself productive while you're staying at home? And take the great classes on CB University. Sign up, they're free, and learn about listings, learn about the tools that we have and how to use them, and understand. Another course is the Smart Home Technology Certification course. That's an easy course that you can get under your belt and get a certificate and get a nice logo on your Coldwell Banker website profile. And I would also advise you to really just understand the NAR has a Commitment to Excellence program. It's a great, easy course. If it's refreshing you on your agency, your ethics and duties, and you'll get a nice badge on your NAR profile if you complete the Commitment to Excellence program on the NAR website when you log in. Just type it in, Commitment to Excellence. And another resource I'm going to share with you, I have a nice treat for you, and asked a property management company, RPM Property Management of Pasadena. Paul White and his company will be providing a nice class for you on the landlord issues that are going on right now in the real estate field, where tenants are kind of struggling to pay. They're asking for forgiveness, or they're asking for some extension. Maybe they lost their job. What are you as a landlord or as an agent going to do when this happens? So he gave us a nice, really quick letter to provide to those tenants. And I love this letter. It's written and reviewed by an attorney that they do have certain things like we can waive late fees, but it also reminds them that they have to have a valid reason. It also reminds them that they have to have proper documentation, and or that this is not forgiven rent. It's not just rent free. It is going to be tacked on or paid at a later date. You guys can come to a payment plan or ask when they can get the payments, but it really just says that it is not waived. I love the language in here. Go ahead and provide this to your clients or your tenants. This is very helpful stuff. If you want to join his class, he's having a class tomorrow on Zoom. It's a web conference digital platform where everyone's been going on here and taking these classes. So I'm going to provide the link to his Zoom class right now. It's in the email that's attached. Don't forget, you have to add the password 91101 in order for you to get into the class where he's scheduling the Zoom meeting at 1 p.m. Tuesday, April 7th. I hope you can join him. Ask your tenant landlord questions that you've been trying to wonder yourself. And don't forget to provide your just cause form to your tenants as well. Maybe you want to do this simultaneously to your tenants. That's what I'm going to do for my properties. So that's it for this weekly update. It's April 6th. I hope you enjoy this next week. Just keep yourself productive. Take advantage of the relief and read up on it, and check the YouTube videos and other resources you have. And I really just advise you to really enjoy this time with your family as well. But don't just waste your time. Be productive in this moment of need. Happy birthday to those of you who've had, like Edgar, who had his birthday last week, and wish you guys all well. Thank you.